Okay, so let's get into the patch notes for 9.0.5.0.5. So content-wise, Blizzard claims we get a new raid, the Winter Queen's Gambit. Come face to face with the jailer's lowliest servant, the janitor, as he teaches you how to use the medley of transplanar spices to envision each raid encounter upside down on the ceiling in preparation for a gauntlet of successfully older and more difficult enemies. Once you no longer need the janitor, move on to the unadvisedly drinking inconceivably aged vinegar as you work your way towards the final boss and learn that you can only win if you share the effort with your friends. Let's play. If this was a real fucking raid, it would be the most confusing raid in the world. I genuinely do not understand how this raid actually works. But fuck it, let's do such a raid in real life, Blizzard. Let's do a raid that no one understands, and it's not actually about killing the bosses, but rather about understanding the fights. Like, I would actually be in favor of Blizzard designing a raid where the way you finish the raid is not by killing bosses, but actually figuring out how to not kill bosses. That could be fun. Not as a standalone raid, but just as an extra thing in this patch in the actual game. New dungeon, the Fungus. Brave the depths of the fungal network beneath Autumnweald with a group of 5 to 10 players, where 1 or 2 of the members of your group are accosters randomly selected to try to kill you. Communication is key when you don't know who to trust, and everyone sounds like they're lying at all times, especially when they don't speak up. Who's the accoster? Don't kick the wrong person. First and foremost, I would actually be in favor of 5 to 10 man raids. I think that could actually be quite fun to have something like a 5 to 10 man raid. I like the Among Us idea of a dungeon. Yeah, if this was real, I would actually be a little bit hyped for a dungeon like this, where 2 in your group is randomly selected with maybe a couple of abilities that does damage to the group. So 2 people actively working to try and fail the dungeon, whereas the other people need to survive the dungeon. What do you think, chat? Would you guys be interested in something like this or not really? Kush Fairy, they've moved further and further away from real patches, right? Where you could get some really cool, like, people were legitimately going, oh my god, this would actually be really fucking awesome, or fuck me, this would suck. And then learning that it's an April Fool's and going, oh, well, haha, that's funny. Nowadays, all of this is clear that it's a joke, right? It's not actually. It's not actually something that fucking will ever happen. So, new profession, sea shanty singing. A successful stage singer said she'd savor some songs sung in a straightforward style. Simple solution, score the several significant schemes surrounding so many societies, sun's substance with satisfying strains of soulful sounds about sailing from the sunrise to sunset. Seek and speak to your sea shanty sergeant in any sizable city to start. Obviously, sea shanty singing, a whole new genre of music. Again, trying to sort of appeal to popularity or popular content. What does this profession actually do, right? Again, I would have liked to see a little bit more. Again, in the past, Blizzard would have given professions that people have actually been asking for a long time and sort of poking people with fun, saying, oh, look at us. I don't know what my favorite sea shanty would be. I only listened to like one, and it was pretty good, but not great. Then, of course, we have new profession, WandaVision, based on the popular television series, which I still don't understand why it's popular, WandaVision. Developers note, while this is available to all classes, WandaVision will only really make sense to you if you've seen and remember small details from most of our other content over the last 15 years. A study in empowering yourself, WandaVision gives you the ability to recast your spells and it also allows you to steal someone else's best ability to use as your own. Didn't DKs have something like this for a while? I can't remember what it was called, but there was actually a DK ability that would allow you to sort of steal an ability from other classes and then use it as your own. But I can't remember what that ability was called. But there was a DK ability that worked similar to this. Starting in black and white and then later moving to color, one vision causes everything that drops for you to always have best in slot stats. Unfortunately, after some time, you have to come back to reality. There are rules in life. We can't rush aging just because it's convenient, and we can't reverse death. But what is loot if not RNG persevering? True. Dark Simulacrum. That's the one. Alphen. Yes. That's the one. I don't know if they still have it, but I know they had it. I haven't played my DK in very long. New Covenant, definitely not Drust. Producer's note, we need to come up with a final name for this. Would I join the Drust? Would any of you join the Drust Covenant? Like, imagine if there was such a covenant. Would you join it? I would prefer a Death Covenant. You see, this is another well-missed opportunity. Making a covenant, saying that it is the More Covenant, and sort of elaborating on what the More Covenant is going to bring, soul binds and all the rest of it, and then going, haha, April Fool's joke. Instagib, from what I can understand, the Drust just wants to destroy Ardenweald, which I'm okay with. I think we can do away with that fucking zone. New micro holidays. Beach vacation to die for. Spring break in the Shadowlands. Wouldn't mind that. This one, I'm having trouble with the first two lines. I'm thinking lol of the vowels. Lol of the vowels have gone missing day. But it can't be lol of the vowels. Lots of the vowels? What's the first? It must be off here. But then what's the first? What's this? What would you guys say is this first word? Lol? Can't be lol. All. That doesn't make sense because the L is a capital letter. Did they fuck this up? I thought all when I read it the first time, but the L is a capital letter, so the L suggests that it should be the start of the word, not in the middle of the word. If it is all, then they fucked up. Shouldn't be that way. It should have been two L's next to one another, and in smaller case, not uppercase. But anyways, let's move on. All right, let's go for all of the vowels. Still, I have a problem with the use of a capital L rather than small case. International Popular Item Day, made up entirely for Social Media Day. Is there such a thing as Social Media Day? I don't even fucking know there was such a thing. Tell us you without telling us you day. Tell us you suck without telling us you suck day. Okay. I'm reading this. Day that no one dies for a whole day because everyone is super careful. This is not a holiday that would ever be real in World of Warcraft. It would more be the day where everyone dies constantly because everyone is a fucking moron. And then, of course, we have the micro holiday that ends before your. Okay. There's such a thing in English where E after something or whatever the fuck, something, your, except your, whatever the fuck that is. I don't know how that rhyme goes. The fucking vowels have gone missing day. Could be that as well. What a sentence that was. Bro, it's a sentence because I don't remember what the actual sentence needs to be. Changes to covenants. Let's go. The Wild Hunt is now 115% more wild and needs to see a barber. Seed of Corruption can now be planted in the Queen's Conservatory. You monster, I would fucking love doing that. The Court of Harvesters now all get started choring an hour earlier thanks to daylight savings time. Pitter patter. Added a new drink served at the Ember Court, Jungle Juice, an amalgamation of the Venthyr's finest served in solo cups, sure to knock you off your feet. The Undying Army's total power has been reduced by 5% after they beat the Undying Navy in 4 of their last 5 matchups. All right, that is a little bit funny. Blade deviser Meaningless has been hard at work coming up with new Necrolord slime-based companions, such as Jelly Frog, Jelly Horse, Jelly Duck, and of course, Jelly Nathanos Blightcaller. When do these changes come? Savage, soon, actually. The Ascended have been forced to stop ascending and try falling through their own shimmering circles in the sky if they need that done so badly. Sheesh. I mean, they could be doing it themselves, true. The more. Venari now has several new levels of reputation available for you to earn. Unconvinced, uneasy, inconclusive, sus, caught feelings. I like how it goes from completely not at all interested to immediately caught feelings. So there was no middle ground. There was no sort of still, not sure about you. It was literally from sus, in other words, I think you're a monster, to, oh shit, I've caught feelings. Also, I don't think sleeping with Venari would be a good idea. I do not think sleeping with Venari would be a good idea. I think her legs would cut you the fuck up. That's not really how feelings work. You don't go from hating someone or being completely and utterly uneasy around someone to just loving them instantly. I mean, in the movies maybe, but not in fucking real life. The Eye of the Jailer now scales up to a new level of danger. Just die already. Fix the bug that allowed some players to go whitewater rafting in the River of Souls. That was super insensitive, guys. That could actually be a cool experience, white river rafting in the River of Souls with best friends through fighting with them. You're weird, Kelnana. But then again, we've also established that you're sort of royalty, so maybe they're not really your friends, they just want to be close to the royal one. Classes, Death Knight. Anti-magic shell now comes in strawberry, caramel, and sugar-free varieties. Don't get it. Why would that be? I mean, better jokes could have been there. Defile damage doubled in one dungeon, making it the better to the use in the other side. Okay. New talent, the Winter Winds. We still don't know what it's about yet, but the guy who's been creating this talent for almost 10 years says you have our formal written permission to imprison him on an island if it's not done by next summer. Fix the bug where certain rings cancelled Raid Thirst. Once again, Raid Thirst cannot be quenched by any mortal beverage. Demon Hunter. Nightfare and Kyrian Demon Hunters who've been telling all their friends back on Azeroth that of course they went Venthyr or Necrolord are now provided with some cosmetic items to help sell the story. I do sort of like that one. The Slayer's Foulbroker Shrieker mount has been adjusted and now provides 50% less shrieking. Don't worry, it's still alarmingly shrieky. The Master of the Glaive talent now makes you 300% more smug towards anyone who has the audacity to come to you for help. Druid. Rage no longer smacks you in the face when you step on it. Innovate has been innovated on and it now emanates an intimate condensate to mitigate the desolate dissecant before you dehydrate. 2 charges. Wow. That is a lot of words. New returning talent, Encouraging Vines. We really thought we completely removed this last autumn, but it keeps coming back on that one sunny side of the wall. Hunter. Combining Cobra Shot with the Spitting Cobra and Killer Cobra talents now motivates you to reopen a controversial karate dojo in the San Fernando Valley. Born to be Wild now makes you fire all of your guns at once and explode into space. I would take that talent just because it would be fun. Hunters who take both skinning and leatherworking now grow an extra large and luxurious beard that really turns heads when you go to town. Mage, no changes needed, because they suck. Monk. Ring of Peace now ejects unwanted enemies 250% more violently in order to maintain peace so hard. Sounds like real life, actually. Fixed an issue that could cause storm, earth, and fire to not require any further fixing. implement a new size enhancement feature for no monks, so that when they engage a Tauren monk in a fight, everyone else in the battleground is less likely to stop and take video that might go viral. Arcane is so meme that it's not even an April Fool's patch notes of anything. There is no mage changes. Yes, mages don't need changes. They're good. Not really, but who cares? Paladin. Blinding Light's disorient duration increased to 8 hours for better correspond with the fact that I can't sleep until I feel your touch. Repentance now forces an enemy to meditate and do hot yoga, incapacitating them for 1 minute and making them feel sore all over the next day. We nerf Shamens because we don't like them. I don't get any of the paladin changes. Rebuke can now only be cast after your first successful cast Buke on your enemy. Final Reckoning keeps being used over and over, so we've changed its name to Yet More Reckoning. I do sort of like that. Priest, Power Infusion now exclusively targets survival hunters. If no survival hunters are in your group, Power Infusion is applied to a random friendly target. When Power Infusion randomly goes to a tank 3 times in a row, you are now comforted by the voice of Xalatath whispering to you about ancient evils or something. Oh my god. Rogue. The pick lock ability will now correctly choose the nearest appropriate warlock. Why? Sub-rogues now have a cute little underwater boat that perfectly fits the sub lifestyle. Okay. Loaded dice can now be properly unloaded for safe storage. Combat potency has been renamed Outlaw Potency. We're not sure how we missed this one. Restless Blades have been properly hydrating and exercising and are really starting to get their sleep schedule back on track. Fix the bug that caused relentless strikes to sometimes inadvertently relent. This is the sort of jokes that I want more of. Shaman. All shamans can now go by shaman or shaman. Shamans is still incorrect. Okay. Vampire shamans are now provided with a unique therapeutic questline to help them deal with the cognitive dissonance of their covenant choice. Surge of power increased by 15% to keep up with advances in GFCI technology. What the fuck is GFCI? What is that? Anyone in chat? Since chat seems to know everything. Electrical outlet? Lock joke, so I am telling you. Bro, I didn't get the lock joke not because I didn't understand the joke. It's just because it's warlock. We refer to it as locks, but it is a warlock. So it doesn't really work. It could have been a better joke. Anyways, the surge of power thing. Okay, so it's outlet technology. How the fuck would I know that? Enhancement shaman who eat a lot of cooked vegetables are no longer allowed to select the forceful winds or elemental blast talents. They should be allowed to pick it, because if they eat a lot of vegetables, they'd be pooping a lot. I mean, wouldn't that increase the gases? There's a lot of vegetables that increase gas. Forceful winds and elemental blast talents would be the natural result of it. Kildana, even if you cook fucking, what's it called? Those little bowl thingies? I don't know what it is. I don't know what it's called, but if you eat those little bowl things, those green bowls, you still poop the whole fucking time? Brussels sprouts, there you go. Even if you cook them, they make you poop. Agent, it's class changes. Warlock, Vile Taint, that's it. That's the patch note. Sure. Doom has been redesigned as the best point-and-click adventure of the year. Several new curses have been added. Curse of Ambience, the target repeatedly demands that you listen to something that they insist is music, but it's just an hour of whale sounds at 5% speed. I don't get the whole whale sounds phenomena that people are going after. It just sounds like noise to me. Curse of Procrastination. The target will still totally attack you. They just need to take a nap first. Oh, and actually there's a new episode of a show they've been watching coming out tonight. Is tomorrow good? Or maybe let's just make it next week. Curse of Dankness. The target emits an awkward, musty smell and becomes slightly damp, moist even. Curse of Dankness forces the target to read the previous path note a second time. After years of feedback on this, at last, Warlocks can pet their Fell Hunter and tell him he's the goodest boy, 1310. Warrior. War Machine has finally stopped blaming itself for what happened to Tony. Frothing Berserker is now 80% frothier. Revenge, it turns out, is actually best served with a knife sear and some lemon. Sweeping Strikes have now finished their union negotiations and are back to sweeping. Thunderclap no longer requires the warrior to be dummy thick. Okay, WoW Classic. Due to the popularity of world buffs in WoW Classic, we're introducing a whole new line of highly valuable stat uppers that you won't want to play without. In addition to Rallying Cry of the Dragonslayer, Warchief's Blessing, Spirit of Zandalar, Songflower Serenade, Molder's Moxie, Slipkick's Savvy, and Fingus's Ferocity, you can now collect Sanctions of Eramathras, Black Moss's Black Moss, the Underwater Mandate, Innkeeper's New Inn Grand Opening Dedication, Magnus Frostwake's Magnificent Lost Rake. Any player who manages to enter a raid on a PvP round with all 12 of the above buffs intact will receive a special bonus world buff. The world buff to end all world buffs, +5 to Spirit. Again, I prefer previous ones. There were some funny ones here that I thought, alright, cool, no worries, this is sort of okay. But can anyone tell me that these April Fool's jokes weren't better a couple of years ago? Like a few years ago, we had some genuine bangers. I remember there was a time where I would actually make these videos because this has been a tradition, by the way. We've done this every single year since I started the channel. We go through the April Fool's jokes and I uploaded it to YouTube every single year. There were times, even so far back as last year, where we would present these as fact. So I would literally do it as serious as humanly possible. I would read it straight-faced, as if these are the actual changes that's going to come, and then towards the end of the video, I would go, by the way, guys, this is just an April Fool's, no worries. And I would always love the comments where there would be genuine people fucking annoyed going, oh my god, bro, this is just an April Fool's joke, what the fuck are you doing? And it's like, just waiting for them to fucking realize what the hell just happened. Better, but I did have a lot of chuckles with these. They were better a couple of years ago than making a fancy April Fool's post, but right now I'd rather they be working on. My classic raiding guild would freak out loving that, and I find this one funny. At this point, I think many people wouldn't mind a 9.0.5.0.5 patch, considering there is nothing else to really do in the game. So I don't think a lot of people would have actually minded getting another filler patch before we get the main 9.1 patch. Like, I don't want to say that it's completely bad. Like, I don't want to say that the April Fool's joke is horrible, because it's not. It serves the purpose of what an April Fool's joke needs to be. And some of the stuff there is like, oh, that's funny. But it is the kind of funny where someone makes a joke, you look at them straight-faced and you go, oh, that's funny. Or you respond like I like doing whenever someone tells me a joke that isn't funny. I look at them and I go, lol. That's the sort of jokes that was in this April Fool's joke. Previous years, Blizzard managed to be very cringy. Sometimes, like, the jokes would be cringe as fuck, and that was what they were going for. This year, and I don't blame them. That's the thing, right? I don't blame Blizzard. I do think if you have to come up with new things every single year, there is a point where you just run out of good content to actually put out there. I would actually be a little bit in favor of what they did with monks, where they first announced monks as a sort of, or pandas as a sort of joke, and then eventually it happened. I would actually have used the April Fool's things as a testing mechanism, right? So rather than just trying to be ridiculous, use it as a test. So put out those changes, massive changes that you would like to do. and see how people react to them. You can always just call April Fools, right? So if people are very angry about the proposed changes, you just go, psych, lied. We're not changing those things. And if people love it, you go, oh, this year we didn't have an April Fool's. This is actually the new changes, right? That could be the April Fools. The April Fools that you thought it was an April Fool's, double bluff. Holy shit. Or do something in game, right? So for the whole day, things are glitching and fucking buggy, worse than what they normally are. Something to that effect could probably be a pretty cool April Fool's joke. But yeah, I don't know. I was a little bit underwhelmed by the shall we call it, the April Fool's joke for this year. That being said, can someone link the Raider.io story for me, please? Where they changed the names? Or is it legitimately just that Raider.io changed the name of the dungeons? That's it. They didn't propose that they were gonna. They just changed it for funsies. Oh man, you would not be... I don't even think... Who the fuck would have a Raider.io? I've never checked Raider.io. I don't even have it installed. I legit don't even have it installed. I don't use Raider.io. Alright, Natalie, send me your Raider.io. Okay, who? Kush Fairy, yeah, sorry. If you want to link it to me, link it on Discord. I don't use Raider.io because I don't hardcore raid, so why the fuck would I care? That and the fact, of course, that I don't agree with Raider.io as a service. I don't think it should exist. I think I should just clarify. It's not that I think Raider.io shouldn't exist. It's more that I think Raider.io, Blizzard should disable the functionality for something like Raider.io to exist. Alright, so we have Kush Furies here. What's your score, bro? Let's judge your fucking score. I don't even know where to fucking see. There we go. 1,432. Is that good? Is that a good score, or... Where's the dungeon thing? Where the fuck do I check the dungeons then? It's just here. Who has a spear? The other King's Rest. Okay, so they literally just turned it into... Well, the other King's Rest is a bit of a bad name. Unless, of course, it's not the other side. Whereas this picture looks more like the other side. I'm a filthy RPer who casually PvPs. I don't pay attention to Raider.io. I don't waste my time with stuff like Raider.io. I don't even waste my time with... Whenever I put out, like, calls for people to join a dungeon... I literally say in the description, be bad, and that's it. Just be bad, and then I fucking wait for people to join. And I've never had problems with bad people joining my runs. I'm usually the worst in those runs, so all works out. I'm getting carried for free. So yeah, I don't see why people need a Raider.io. I think it's a fucking schmoz. But anyways, the fact that they changed the names of the dungeons, I mean... What kind? They can't really do. I would have fucked with people's mythic scores. I think that would have been a better April Fool's joke. Like, suddenly you log on and your mythic score is 700 or 20. And people just legitimately freak the fuck out. That, I think, would be funnier. Like, this is just... Alright, fine. Right? But it doesn't necessarily make it... I don't know, it's not as good for me. I would have fucked with people's... Like, that would probably piss a lot of people off, but I would still prefer to fuck with people's Raider.io scores. So we have the other King's Rest, Gargoyles and Gorgons, Flubber, Pain, Just Pain, Flower, Flower Leaf, Kyrian Airlines, and Sanguini Linguini. It's pretty good names, I suppose, one can say. It's not bad names, but still, as an April Fool's, not really. April Fool's is meant to piss people off, right? It's meant to sort of make you go, what the fuck? And then it's like the perfect time to do sort of pranks on people, because you can just go, oh, psych, lie, you know, April Fool's, doesn't matter. I remember when I was a little kid, my dad would, on April Fool's, on April 1st, he would do shit like, oh yeah, there's no school today. And then you kind of get into this chill thing of, oh my God, there's no school. And then half an hour before school starts, he goes, April Fools, get ready. You have to go to school. And it's like, oh my fuck, are you serious? Like, I was getting ready to just laze about all day. And here we go. I have to go to school. This is miserable, right? Those were the kind of jokes that at least I grew up with on April Fools. So these are just weak. I would not, I don't think these are good enough.